few tricks, a few treats, and a good ball game on Halloween night in the Steel City.
This is one of those division rivalries where, you know, both teams know each other so well that sometimes you get a little conservative because of that. You know, you say, geez, I remember 3 years ago we tried to do that to them and it didn't work, so let's not try it now. And that feels like the type of game we're seeing here. You know, good hitting, good defense, kind of conservative, but very, very crisp.
Coaches know each other so well because Cowher's been here 14 years and Billick is now in his 7th season at Baltimore. Out of the shotgun, they snap it to Antoine Randall L., a play that the Steelers use with some frequency. Randall L., quarterback in college, for the 7-yard gain.
You know, Bill Cowher likes these gadget plays where he has different things. He doesn't have a quarterback there in the backfield. Just goes to Randall L., and he looks out. He can throw it out there quickly, or he can run with it. Bill Cowher would rather have him run with it than throw it stupidly.
Look at it. He's close to 6, just across the 25-yard line. Fast Willie Parker. And Parker is able to bull his way out to the 34-yard line to move the chains.
You know, and that's getting the crowd back into it. If you noticed how the Ravens in their play tonight has kind of taken the crowd out of this game. They were in it early before that, and I think they thought the Steelers were going to kind of come out and have their way with the Ravens. And then when they didn't, they kind of quieted down. Halloween night, what the heck's going on here?
Halfway through the 4th quarter, 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Gain of about 2. That field goal by Stover, we talked about how tough it is to kick field goals here. That's the longest in the history of the stadium, which is now in its 5th season. And there it is, 49 yards, previous 48 set by several kickers, including most recently Adam Vinatieri of New England. We mentioned no 50-yard field goals in this park. 6 have been attempted in the 4.5 seasons. 2nd and 8. Parker, who started the game and kind of fell away from him for a while, and now very much back in the middle of action. 14 carries, 63 yards.
Well, you know, the Steelers have a little problem here because they want to run the ball to Willie Parker. They want to give Jerome Bettis some handles, and they also want to throw the ball so they have some kind of balance. So you can't do all 3 of those things.
One of the few games in which Pittsburgh has more passes than runs. They rushed it 22 times and thrown it 27 times. And that's dropped Dan Kreider, the fullback, and that's why he's a fullback.
And it wasn't a very good throw either, and it's one of those things that I think, you know, we said earlier that Rex Ryan came in here, the defensive coordinator, and says, you know, we are not going to let the Steelers beat us with the run. If they're going to beat us, they're going to do it with the pass. And I think that's why the Steelers realize that every defense is a run-type defense, so it's a lot easier to pass against them.
Tight formation on 2nd down and 10. Roethlisberger is going to throw, and it's incomplete. Looking for a flag. And not getting one is Antoine Randall L. with Suggs back there.
See, Terrell Suggs was right there. You see him. He starts off like he's going to be a rusher, and then he ends up covering Randall L. And he covers him perfectly. He just gets on his back shoulder and just shadows him. That's pretty good for a guy that's half a defensive lineman and half linebacker. 6'3", 260 pounds. This guy can do it all.
The #1 pick out of Arizona State in 03. 3rd and 10. Here comes the blitz. Roethlisberger feels it. Steps up. Throws. Flag. Passes incomplete. Ward looks around. You've got double coverage. And the flag thrown at the end of the play.
Ben Roethlisberger is very good at keeping a play alive. You know, you think a big guy like that, 250-pound quarterback would be.
Illegal contact. Quarterback is down in the pocket. 4th touchdown.
When you leave the pocket, that means you can't have illegal contact. So the flag is thrown by the official who didn't see that Roethlisberger had gotten out of the pocket. And so you've got the overrule.
Yeah, because he was running at that time, so the quarterback is a runner, and if the quarterback's a runner, then you can run defend. Now after that, when he throws it, he had already been declared runner. Now the official that sees it, he doesn't see where Roethlisberger is, so he calls it pass interference.
Crowd wanted pass interference. You've got Deion Sanders now back as one of two Ravens to return the kick, and you've got a short snap, and then you've got Bardaki with the ball, and he's going to throw, and it's caught, and then the ball is dropped. Sean Moreeeee dropping it, but well short of what would be a first down. And so the Pittsburgh Steelers on this Halloween night try a trick play, and that one with a bad snap involved in it puts Baltimore in tremendous shape.
We'll see what happened. Moreeeee is a fullback or the blocker, and he went up there like he was trying to say something to center. The center snapped it and hit Moreeeee with it.
Not a trick play, just a bad play.
And now, more great moments on ESPN. The year was 2004. The San Antonio Spurs and the Los Angeles Lakers were locked in an NBA Conference semifinal. Tim Duncan scores a clutch point, only to be outdone by Derek Fisher. A celebration of sports memories from around the globe. Great moments on ESPN.
We invite you to check your local listings for your next edition of Sports Center. We'll recap all the top stories from around the world of sports and have all the scores and highlights as well right here on the worldwide leader in sports. It's been an eventful Monday Night Football matchup between the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers, and we're coming down to the final moments of a one-point game. The Steelers trying to hang on to their 5th victory of the season. Let's get back out to Heinz Field.
Apparently they're trying to make a call, and then the rookie snapper Greg Warren snapping the ball. We'll look at it in a second, but it puts Baltimore in great shape at the 45-yard line. Right, again, great protection, but underneath it's Lewis making the cash, and foot is right there. And let's go back to the botched punt.
You know, Sean Moreeeee is the fullback or the personal protector. You see him here, 81. He's going up to the line to make a call, to tell him which way to fan out, and the ball is snapped, and it hits Moreeeee. So he just comes up, and then he tries to lateral, and then they try and throw it. But as you say, the snapper didn't look, or Moreeeee was trying to make some call, and in the middle of the call, the ball was snapped.
Greg Warren, the rookie out of North Carolina. 2nd and 10. White hit as he throws, but he gets it away, and it's Holden at the 30-yard line by Mason, who gets tackled by Taylor. And Chris Hope put the heat on right that time, but he just hung in the pocket and threw a strike.
And Chris Hope came about 20 yards. He's going to come on the other side, and he's coming from the bottom of the picture. Here's the throw and the catch here. That was a great adjustment. Here's Chris Hope. He started about 15 yards deep, and he just timed that thing, got to the line of scrimmage when the ball was snapped, and Anthony Wright gets the ball to Derek Mason.
Already in field goal range now are the Ravens in a one-point game. Lewis chugging ahead down to the 27-yard line, and looking ahead, both teams with all of their timeouts remaining.
You know, and both teams have a rookie snapper, and that's a tough thing. You know, you always think the snapper, you know, he's an extra guy. You know, we don't worry. All he does is snap the football and extra point and field goals and punts. But when you have a mistake like that, you say, geez, I wish I had a veteran at that position in a game like this.
That's why long snappers are at a premium. A lot of them make good money.
Right. If you have a young kid and you want him to play in the NFL, teach him how to long snap.
2nd and 7. And this is Chester Taylor, who runs right into Larry Foote at the 29-yard line.
And the Ravens get themselves in this bind again where they get 3rd and long, and they've had a very difficult situation. They've had a very difficult time, I mean, in this situation.
Timeout. Pittsburgh.
ESPN Sport Legends presents Dennis Rodman. When Dennis Rodman was just another well-paid NBA player in the late 1980s, he was a highly respected member of the Detroit Pistons.
Boy, he could get the rebound, kick it to the guard, and then beat everybody down the court for the layup or the tip-in. I mean, the man was just incredible.
Then Dennis Rodman's life changed when he and Madonna struck sparks that blazed across the media.
She built up his self-esteem also, told him he is somebody, and explained to him it's not always the substance that can bring you fame. It's the packaging.
When Dennis got 15 rebounds and dressed normal, he made $2 million a year. And when he started wearing dress and acting, doing this stuff, he made $20 million a year.
3.5 minutes remaining in the 4th. Pittsburgh just took its first timeout on defense. The numbers there for Anthony Wright. Taylor with the Baltimore touchdown. There are Roethlisberger's numbers. Hines Ward with 8 catches tonight. Heath Miller, 2 touchdowns for the rookie out of Virginia. Stover's kicked 3 field goals. And it's 17-16 with the terrible towels here in Pittsburgh, and Bill Cowher watching his team, a big favorite tonight, have its hands full all night.
You know, and this is where if you have good defense, they have to play good. I think that there ought to be a stat like 4th quarter offense, 4th quarter defense, or last 2 possessions of a game, offense and defense, because most games are won in these situations.
And a long time since Pittsburgh has lost a game when they led by 7 or more points going into the 4th, as was the case tonight. You go back a home game, you go back pre-Chuck Noll. Wright rolling, and Wright's going to go out of bounds at the 28-yard line. So here comes Stover, who kicked a 49-yarder, a Heinz Field record, to try what will be a 47-yard field goal.
And Anthony Wright on that rollout, he saw he had no one open down there, so he was just trying to buy a little more distance for Stover.
If there's a better end of this stadium to kick toward, it is this end, because the other end is more open. Talking to the kickers, the winds swirl more the other way. He's kicking into more or less what would be the closed end of the stadium.
And they had to wait to get a K-ball in there. You know, remember the old K-ball? That's a special ball that they kick, but they don't play the game with. They didn't have one.
At the tool of the snap, Dave Zastudil to hold it. 47-yard attempt. It's a low snap, but Zastudil gets it down, and the kick is good. And so Matt Stover, one of the original Ravens, been with the franchise since they started in '96, and of course was a Cleveland Brown before that. Even though the Browns moved to Baltimore, the colors, the names, the records, and all of the rest stayed in Cleveland. So you look at Stover, he would have been with this franchise, Cleveland plus Baltimore, longer than anybody currently playing.
Yeah, we look at that snap, and it was a little to the side where he had to bring that ball back in there. It's the second one that he's done a good job of holding on. And Bill is crooked, and then when it goes through, he straightens up.
Started out with a body English.
But I'll tell you, they played like heck, the Ravens had. I mean, they came in here and they had, you know, every reason not to. You know, I mean, they had Ray Lewis out, they had Reed out, they had their starting quarterback Bowler out, and they have really played well. I mean, they played with enthusiasm, they played with passion, they played hard. I mean, it's been a real good hitting game.
And we've been talking about the fact that Pittsburgh marched down the field. They had a 15-play opening drive, consuming almost 9 minutes before Baltimore even saw the ball. John talking about all the injuries, and there's the premium one, of course, in Ray Lewis. Jamal Lewis yet to get on track this season. White, the quarterback. Coakley with the run back here. And out to about the 21-yard line. So the deck very much stacked against the Ravens, who didn't even get into the end zone last week when they lost to Chicago. And they come in with a mark of 2-4. But right now they're up by 2 as you look at the numbers for the 2 quarterbacks tonight.
You know, and right now Ben Roethlisberger has to be a quarterback. You know, they've said, you know, he's only in his second year. His first year, you know, all he did was hand off. It was about, you know, running, was about good defense. Maybe it was, but there comes a point in games where the quarterback has to play. And right now is one for Ben Roethlisberger.
Roethlisberger right now is throwing 28 passes, equaling his career high, so he'll set one right here in all likelihood on first down with his 29th pass if he can get it away, and he does. And it's a completion, and it's a first down over the middle as Antoine Randall L. gets free for a first down at the 34-yard line. 2 timeouts for the Steelers, plus the 2-minute warning. From the gun, from the 34-yard line to the outside, and that is caught. That's Quincy Morgan making the catch at the 42-yard line. He is out of bounds, and it's a first down.
Right, and they went without a huddle, and now that he got out of bounds, the clock is stopped, and Roethlisberger saying, okay, now let's huddle up. Quincy Morgan, he gets to the outside. Now watch Ben Roethlisberger, he looks him off. He looks to his left, and then he comes right back to Quincy Morgan. That's one of the things that he said he learned a year ago. Don't look at the guy you're going to throw to. Just look away, then come back to him.
Got behind McAllister. Play clock is down to 3 as Roethlisberger is resetting on the fly, and he's going to hand the ball off in an inside give to Haynes. He normally plays in third down situations and in shotgun situations, and he takes the ball to the 35-yard line.
You know, the Steelers were in a hurry-up offense, and now I think with 2 minutes and 26 seconds, I think they kind of want to slow it down a little.
Sure, no reason to be in the hurry-up. You've got 2 timeouts, you've got the 2-minute warning, and if nothing else, in a perfect scenario, you want to take as much time off the clock as you can. 31 pass attempts for Roethlisberger, first time with 30 or more. So they started out in a hurry-up, and now they want to take time off the clock. And this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning. And it's the bus who gets around the corner and takes him down to the 24-yard line. So they're in field goal range with 1 minute and 57 seconds remaining. The 2-minute warning here in Pittsburgh as we'll go right down to the gun with Baltimore leading 19-17.
And now another great moment on ESPN. The UEFA Champions League final, the top prize of European club football, has produced some of the most memorable games in history. In 2004, an unlikely pair of teams squared off. High-scoring Monaco and the Giant Killers Porto took the pitch for 90 minutes of unforgettable football. And in the end, it was Porto, the pride of Portugal, holding the European Cup high for the world to see. A celebration of sports memories from around the globe. Great moments on ESPN.
A reminder to tune in every Friday for NFL Seminar. Throughout this NFL season, Alvaro Martin and Raul Alegre will get you caught up on the week that was and give you a good look ahead at the week that will be each week in this NFL season. NFL Seminar each and every Friday here on ESPN. Coming right down to the wire, the Ravens and the Steelers. Baltimore 1 minute and 57 seconds away from an improbable upset in Pittsburgh. But the Steelers still have a chance. We're going to send you back out now to Al Michaels and John Madden with the call from Heinz Field inside the final 2 minutes.
The 5th Halloween night game in the 36-year history of Monday Night Football. And they have been bizarre.
They should be bizarre. Hey, I said earlier on this drive, this is where Ben Roethlisberger has to be a quarterback. He was a quarterback.
He's gotten them into field goal range. They're down to the 24-yard line. Bettis is the running back. Now it's incumbent on Baltimore to save some time and take their timeouts defensively. But first things first, they've got to stop Pittsburgh. Bettis takes it to the 19-yard line. Gain of 5.
You notice how Bettis always pops up first? That's a big thing to him. Remember, Jim Brown would kind of stay down and then get up, and you'd think he was hurt or something. Jerome Bettis, when he goes down, he's going to finish off the run, and then when everything is done, he's going to pop up and be the first guy up. Watch it. He was a little slow getting up on that one, but he wants to prove that they can't keep him or they can't hold him down.
Nope. Nothing stops him.
You know, he was saying when he was in L.A., you know, he was a fullback, and the L.A. Rams made him a tailback, and he said, you know, at Notre Dame, he'd just run straight ahead and just power, and then, you know, as a fullback with the Rams, he just powered, and, you know, you just run into guys and run over them. Chuck Knox moved him to tailback, and he said after 6 weeks, he said he had a separated shoulder, a bruised sternum, a knot on his hip the size of a softball, and he said, I gotta start getting some moves or I'm gonna get killed in this league. So that's when he started all that quick feet stuff.
3 years in LA, 10 spectacular years here, 2nd and 5 after the Baltimore timeout. And now Bettis will take the ball to the 17-yard line, and Baltimore will stop it again. So now, if the Steelers can get a first down on this next play, they can take the clock all the way down. If the Ravens stop them, then they can stop the clock again, force a field goal in which they may give up the lead.
Yeah.
But then still have plenty of time on the clock.
Right, and we remember a part of that is the Steelers still have to make a score here. I mean, they're still down. So they want to do all those things, but then you have to be assured that you score. I always liked in this situation to take a shot at the end zone before I have to kick a field goal. Now, maybe with the Steelers and their running game, they think in this situation they can give it to Jerome Bettis and he can pick up a first down.
3rd down and 3. And that's what they're going to do, and he won't get the first down. So Pittsburgh's going to have a chance to take the lead. But Baltimore uses its last timeout, and they leave a lot of time to get back down the field and into their own field goal range with 1 minute and 40 seconds.
And we talked about the Raven defense and Rex Ryan and what they were going to do. They're playing run all the way here. You know, a play action pass would have been a great play because they are selling out. They played a goal line defense. Watch them. They're all down. They're all penetrating. There was no place for Jerome Bettis to go. And had they faked a run and thrown the ball, someone like a Heath Miller probably would have been wide open.
Last time Reed was on Monday night, he made a 40-yarder with 6 seconds remaining in the game to win the game against the Chargers 3 weeks ago. Do you think Howell was angry at the play call or the execution there, John? I'm wondering.
I think he was probably angry that he didn't get a first down and was probably second-guessing the play call.
Ken Wisenhunt is the offensive coordinator. This will be a 37-yard attempt.
You know, these aren't automatic.
No, not in this stadium.
No.
Even though it is not a breezy night. Gardocki to hold. And Warren, who had the errant long snap, with the short snap here. Everything is perfect, including the kick. And so with 1:36 remaining, Wright has a lot of time. He will not have a timeout, but the Ravens would only have to get into field goal range. I knew this was where the immaculate reception took place.
Yes, it did. Here we talked about rookie snappers. You need a good snap. Right here, they got a good snap. Good snap, good place, good kick.
Warren needed a hug after that last punt snap.
Well, you know, you don't know whether to blame Warren. I mean, probably because he's a rookie, you do. But maybe it was Sean Moreeeee. I mean, maybe he shouldn't have walked up behind the center. Maybe he should have stayed to the side as he went up and made that call. I'll tell you, he is relieved, though, right now.
Oof. But it may only be temporary because the Ravens have the ball in a lot of time.
And I think that's why Bill Cowher was so upset that you know, he wanted to score, but he didn't want to give them the ball back. And then with 1:36, they're going to get some plays here.
Yep, as we said, with a first down, they could have taken the clock all the way down and won it at the end, or at least attempted a victory at the end. But
yeah,
now 1:36 to play.
And that's why the Ravens sold out on that defense. That's why on that third down defense, they went to a goal line defense.
Reed, good kick, fielded 1 yard line by B.J. Sams. It's around the corner and goes out of bounds up at around the 31 yard line. So Anthony Wright, who's been the starter since the second game of the season. Kyle Bowler started that opener against Indianapolis. Toe injury. Out for what's turned out to be half the season. Roethlisberger can just spectate now as Wright will go to work. Mason's been his favorite target. Derek's caught 6 for 83 yards. Don't forget about Heap, the tight end. Out of the shotgun. Out into the flat, Taylor, and he's going to step out of bounds after a gain of about 4 yards at the 35 yard line. .123 remaining. To give Stover a shot, they would have to get the ball to about the 32 or 33 yard line of Pittsburgh. And Wright's going to just heave that one away and into the Ravens bench, and it's going to be 3rd down and 6 coming up.
Well, you know, they have Aaron Elling too, and you know, in the pregame, I mean, he was really kicking him. He was kicking him over 50 yards here. So in a desperation type thing, that's another move that Brian Billick would have here. But I think before he gets to that choice, he has to get a first down and then make a couple more completions.
3rd and 6. And it's caught, and it's a first down. And does he get out of bounds? Yes, he does. Derek Mason makes the catch on his knees and is able to scramble onto the chalk to stop the clock with 1:12 and the ball at the 43 yard line.
Boy, the Steelers are playing a soft defense. I mean, look at all the room that they give Derek Mason out here. He just goes to the first down marker, just gets down, takes a knee. Anthony Wright sees it, and he delivers the ball low.
4-man rush. Right to Mason, and Mason is out of bounds. Backing up, kept his eye on it, but couldn't stay in bounds. It'll be 2nd down.
He got 1 foot down there. He was behind the rookie Brian McFadden. It's kind of a zone thing, and McFadden didn't get back there. You see him, and he just throws it right over his head. He did have 1 foot in, and the second foot was out. That left foot, the right foot was in, the left foot was out. And Roethlisberger's given a little officiating and play-by-play.
Would have been good in his days at Michigan State, but not in the NFL. And a whistle here before the 2nd and 10 play.
We will review the previous play.
Well, that has to come from upstairs. Remember, in the last 2 minutes, can't be challenged, and I'm not quite sure why they would stop it. It looked pretty clear to us, but they just want to play it safe. Be careful. So take another look. You have to have possession and 2 feet in bounds, and clearly he does not.
But I think in a situation like this, you're right. It's better for them to be be safe and say, okay, it wasn't a catch, than to come up tomorrow and say that they should have allowed that it was a catch.
We'll review whether the receiver had his feet in bounds.
If nothing else, it gives the Ravens, who are not going to win this review, a chance to discuss strategy, as can the Pittsburgh defense, obviously, but they're not going to. This is a review that.
And they should use
nothing.
that time. I mean, the Ravens with no timeout should call a couple of plays here. So, you know, in case they do complete one to the inside, that they can go up and line up on the ball, snap it, and have another play.
After reviewing the play, the receiver was out of bounds. Incomplete pass.
That's one of the shorter reviews ever, but well, you saw it.
Yeah.
What's to look at?
Yeah, if there's no reason to review, it usually will be short.
So it's 2nd down and 10 at the 43-yard line. 66 seconds left. White in the shotgun. 5-man rush. Ball is caught at the 50-yard line. That is Todd Heap. And they will need about 3.5 yards for the first down here on a 3rd down play. Under a minute now.
Ike Taylor, the corner, came on a blitz, and they threw hot to that side.
3rd and a long 3 against the 4-man rush. And Wright's going to step up and can't get away, and he's tackled at the 46. And it's going to be 4th down and do or die for the Baltimore Ravens here. But Kiesel with the stop. 27 seconds and ticking down. Can they get a first down and keep the game alive? They cannot, and the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to win it. Chester Taylor underneath.
Boy, you don't think Brian Billick is a competitor? Bill Cowher. I mean, you live and die in these games.
Here's the 3rd down play.
Again, he didn't have anyone open. He was trying to throw to that right side, and he had to pull it down. And then the rusher gets there.
3rd down sack, and Brett Kiesel made that sack. One kneel down will end it. And for Billick, well, you saw the frustration. You have a chance to win the game, and then you really don't even give yourself a chance on that 4th down play. You throw underneath. Wouldn't have been a first down even if he caught it and been tackled. And the Pittsburgh Steelers had their hands full tonight, but come away with a win and go to 5-2, a half game back of the Cincinnati Bengals in the AFC North.
Well, it took some 4th quarter drama, but the Pittsburgh Steelers have their 5th victory of the season. Remind our Latin American audience that Sports Center is coming up next. 20-19, the Ravens fall at the hands of the Steelers.
The X Games on ESPN. Athletes redefining their sport.
Unbelievable.
When does athletic skill transcend the sport?
And he's got it over the height. Man, that was huge.
When does a trick become a miracle?
Are you kidding me?
Don't miss a special encore of X Games 11. Thursdays this October, only on ESPN.
Stand up. Here's a look at the final stats. 20 first downs for the Ravens, 19 for the Steelers. Steelers got the better of the ground game with 101 yards on the ground. Willie Parker leading the way with 63 of those on 14 carries. Anthony Wright and the Ravens passed for a net 246 yards on the day and had the ball about 2 minutes more than did the Steelers. But the 5 turnovers were a big key in the game. They led to some interesting swings of momentum. 3 by Baltimore. And in the end, perhaps their undoing. The Ravens on the season now -8 in turnover ratio, and that's not good. They fall to 2-5 on the season. The Steelers are +6 on the year in turnover ratio, and now run their record to 5-2. So that's the story this evening on Monday Night Football from Pittsburgh. We'll be back with more in a moment.
And now another